everyone! Welcome to Inside Showbiz with Aster Amoyo. Dumayo po tayo dito po sa Mega Mall para po sa press preview ng pelikulang Hunt. Number 1 po ito internationally, not only in South Korea and soon in the Philippines. And we are so proud, and I'm so proud dahil kasama natin for the very first time para personal na mag-invite para sa moving Hunt. Mga kaibigan, let's have her for the very first time. Grace Lee!
Hi everybody! Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to personally invite you to watch movie Hunt, starring the very famous Squid Game lead actor Lee Jung-jae. It's now the #1 movie in Korea and internationally, and this is also his directorial debut. So please support Hunt. You will be thoroughly entertained. It's action-packed and it will have you guessing throughout the movie. I hope you enjoy. Actually, aksidente lang po talaga yung pagsimula ko po ng Glimmer production company. So, maraming mga Korean production company gusto mag-shoot dito, and they had a lot of projects that they wanted to implement here. Kaya lang, kulang talaga po sila sa connection when it comes to the Philippines. So, marami po talaga nagre-request sa akin. Kahit hindi ko to ginagawa, marami po nagre-request. So, I said, okay, why don't I put up a company that can actually help Korean production with everything that they need whenever they come to the Philippines. So, after tumulong po ako sa mga Korean production companies ng mga 2 or 3 times, tinayo ko na po yung Glimmer. And then when I put up Glimmer, I saw the opportunity for us to do a lot of licensing, co-production, and distribution. And so I got into it. Although we got into it a year before pandemic po. So imagine, we were supposed to roll out our first project in 2020, tapos nagka-pandemic po. So we almost closed down our company, but thank God that we were able to sustain because as soon as January of 2022, marami na namang inquiries, flooding with inquiries ang Glimmer dahil ang dami pong mga Korean production na interesado makipag-partnership dito, whether it's co-production or distribution. Actually, nung umalis po ako ng TV, ang pinagkaabalahan ko talaga is F&B, restaurant business. So I have a couple of restaurant businesses. Dito naman po talaga ako based ever since I was a kid. And so I started my small restaurant business. It grew a little, and then same F&B, tinamaan din ng pandemic. So it was really difficult pandemic years for, all of us. We were all affected, but thank God that we were able to sustain and we've survived it. So hopefully, coming back stronger after pandemic, ang Glimmer and also my restaurant businesses. Nagkaroon na po kami ng The Roundup, which was also the #1 Korean movie at that time, 2 months ago. So lahat po ng movie na pinalabas po namin dito sa Pilipinas, apparently became #1. So we were very fortunate also. And ang ginagawa po ng Glimmer ngayon kasi po is pag pinapalabas na po sa sinehan sa Korea, mga 1 or 2 weeks after, pinapalabas na po namin dito. So halos simultaneous na po tayo. Dati po kasi tapos na sa Korea, sa sinehan, tapos parang may pirated na nga online, tapos doon pa lang pinapakita sa sinehan. Kaya walang masyadong movies na nilalabas sa cinemas because there's no merit, because it's so late. So that's what we're trying to break, that chain. So I was able to deal with big production companies in Korea to allow us to simultaneously screen here in the Philippines at they were able to trust, we were able to gain their trust. So, ginagawa na po namin ngayon at sunod-sunod na po itong mga ganitong pelikula na magaganda na ipapalabas sa Philippine cinemas. Well, ang pangarap ko talaga through Glimmer is for us to be able to develop through cultural and talent exchange, the production level of the Philippines, so that we can make our original Philippine production through the help of Korean production teams' education and eventually be able to create Filipino content that is recognized worldwide. That is actually my ultimate goal Opo, so actually, meron na kaming proyektong, actually, meron po akong proyektong tinapos, etong June lang po, no? 3 months po siya nag-shoot dito sa Philippines. It's a Korean production involving 200 behind the cam Filipino crew and 30 plus on-cam Filipino talent. I cannot disclose it yet. We shot here for 3 months. We sold the Philippines. Ako yung talagang nagbenta ng Pilipinas sa mga Korean production houses in Korea na, they always, go to Vietnam or Thailand or Hawaii. I always tell them, come to the Philippines. We speak English, our country is beautiful, etc., etc. We have such great talent, behind cam and on cam. And so, I will be only able to reveal the project once they reveal it in Korea. I cannot reveal it yet, but you will know it because you will see familiar faces on cam in a Korean production. Nag-news po ako, di ba? Kasama ko po former Secretary Martin Andanar and I were partners in TV5 for the news. So marami talaga akong natutunan sa kanya. Actually, nung nagsimula po ako sa news sa TV5, akala ko ang galing-galing ko mag-Tagalog. Yun pala hindi. Kasi nung nag-news ako, nalaman ko, hindi pala ako magaling mag-Tagalog. Ang daming mga salita na hindi ko alam. But I grew up here, no? I truly am what you've coined me for since 15 years ago, that I'm really Koreanang pusong Pinay talaga. Dito na po talaga ako. This is my home. My family's also here. In fact, my sister is the first Korean to become a Filipino doctor, medical doctor in the Philippines. So she's in Manila Doctors and UE. And so, imagine niyo na lang yung hinanakit ng nanay ko nung nagka-pandemic kasi siya yung frontline ng frontliners. Yeah, so, but I'm very proud of her. So, well, if you see a Korean doctor in the ER, that's my sister. So this year, I'm also very excited to announce that we're going to be showing another movie that is, I am sure, going to be #1 again. Okay, and this will be the first time in Southeast Asia that Korean actors who are main characters in the movie will be coming to a country to promote their movie. It's never happened in Southeast Asia before, and it's going to happen in the Philippines through Glimmer. It will be a red carpet, and there will be about 4 very famous Korean actors coming here to promote their movie. Kasi ginagawa po nila yan sa China, Hong Kong, Japan, pero hindi pa nila ginagawa sa Southeast Asia, yung mag-promote po talaga ng movie nila by going to the country. Plano po namin next year na gumawa ng remake ng isang Korean movie, pero full Filipino cast po siya. Pero yung director po, tsaka yung producer will be Korean. The reason why I'm doing this, and post-production will also be happening in Korea. The reason why I'm doing this is because, as I've said kanina, slowly but surely, I want Korean big names, directors, producers, editors, to teach our local behind-the-cam talents so that the quality of our work also becomes better and better and better. And Glimmer wants to help in that process. So next year, nakaplano na po kami, full Filipino production, Filipino content, but it will gain a lot of attention in Korea because this is actually a Korean title and it will be participated by famous Korean director and producer. 20 years from now, when I'm a little bit older, I would like to look back and say, Glimmer stood in the center of Philippine content development as it rose from, I would say, years of stagnation. That is something I envision. I met someone and he's great, non-showbiz. When he recently passed, of course I think people were very saddened by his sudden passing. And I think I am with the Filipino people in being very grateful for the kind of president that he was for this country. And when his presidency was over, he really took a back seat. And he retreated into his old lifestyle of, being a supportive Filipino citizen. And so, I'm just very grateful, and I thank God that I got the opportunity to get to know him, even for a very short period of my life. I will always treasure that, and I will always be honored by the fact that I got to see the human side of our former beloved president. And so, having said that, I wish also our current president the best of luck and blessing because at the end of the day, God makes presidents, right? And so our role as citizens are to be supportive. Kaya hindi naman naging kami. We were really dating. We were just dating. And yeah, we were really just dating. And yeah, I'm glad I got to know him for that short period. But moving on, I hope, I will be also able to get married and have kids, like my friends and relatives. Yung nanay ko, sobrang atat na magkaapo. So I wish that prayer of my mother comes true someday. I'm doing this on my own right now, but the only reason I'm able to carry this is because I have great Korean partners in Korea. Meaning they're our partnering companies. Pero yung Glimmer po mismo, I'm a sole proprietor. During the pandemic, actually nagkasakit po ako eh. So not COVID. I wasn't sick with COVID, but I developed cervical slip disc when in 2020, mid 2020, so I was sick for a while. So I was mostly home in 2020. And then 2021, medyo I started going out and exploring. It was a good time for me to regroup within myself. Regroup business-wise, personal-wise, faith-wise, everything. So I think pandemic also did a lot of us good. We needed to take a step back and just kind of reassess our lives. So I'm just glad that everything's kind of going back to normal and we can now go to cinemas and watch a movie. So these small things we took for granted makes us happy. So I'm really grateful for that. I go back to Korea now often kasi nga po meron po kami for business po. So meron mga projects, so I go to Korea. Pero to really relocate there and live there, hindi po. Dito talaga. Grace Lee is not as serious as you think. A lot of people when they meet me, they think I'm super serious and very strict and very rigid, but I'm not. I like that fun. I'm very, I'm very easy to get along with. I'm not as stern as people think I am. It's just, I guess it's my face. I have to smile more often. I'd like to invite all of you to watch The Hunt. It's been recognized internationally as the #1 movie in Korea right now, and it's finally showing in the Philippines. And I'm glad to say that we've been getting great reviews. So I hope you don't miss it. It's really action-filled and twists and turns everywhere, and you will always be entertained throughout the movie. Abangan po lahat ng mga proyekto namin sa Glimmer because we are here to entertain you with the best of Korean entertainment. See you soon!